What's good, YouTube? Check it out. You're rocking with your boy Trey 57 Productions. Get with it or get left behind. And right now, this video is for the big homie repping CT. He asked me to speak on this, and as requested, here it is. I'm going to put his channel down in the description so y'all can go ahead and subscribe to an excellent channel. He had asked me, he said, just a thought about this. You should do a video about your firearms being better stocked. I heard you say before, I think they might be less reliable with aftermarket triggers, backplates, and etc. My opinion, people, because I can hear the hate already coming in, but it is what it is. So to the big homie, let me just jump into this. My opinion, listen, factory stock parts will always be better than aftermarket parts. Well, I can hear them all now. Well, what makes you say that? People, listen up. Please listen up. Aftermarket parts are not made by the manufacturer of that firearm. Unless they made it and upgraded it, but then they would have upgraded the whole firearm. Now, I'm sure some manufacturers out there have upgraded parts that they make for that firearm. Okay, then so be it. Do that. That's cool. As long as the manufacturer has done that and ran that through that firearm through multiple tests. That would be the only way that I would accept that. I am not a big fan of chopping up the slide to put cuts in the frame. I'm not a big fan. No, you are not cutting no holes in my slide, okay? That's like you taking a Chevy Impala. That's right. That's like you taking a Chevy Impala and it calls for these spark plugs. Let's just say they call for platinum plugs. You go ahead and put some, I ain't going to say AC Delco, but you can go ahead and put some spark plugs in because they told you it's going to work. Oh, they going to run, they going to work, but they're not going to run how they supposed to run. You understand? They're not going to run how they are supposed to run because you didn't put what it calls for in there. You're Barney back there saying, I agree. So you have Glock. Your Glock comes stock. It comes the way Glock makes it. It's flawless the way it is. Some people want to upgrade their triggers. By all means, do what you do. No love lost. I ain't hating on y'all. But I choose to leave everything factory. Doesn't matter how much money you got, how much, look, I'm not changing the function of my firearm. I'm leaving I learned that from experience. I am not changing the firing pin. Look, if I need a new firing pin, it's going to come from the maker of that gun. If I need something done to that gun, it's going to come from the maker. I'm not changing the trigger. I'm not changing the firing pin. I ain't changing the back plate. Painting the base plate, okay, cool. That ain't nothing but some coating, okay? We go ahead and get the coating done. I ain't mean to say painting. All right, y'all. For y'all know, you don't paint guns. People do, but you get them coated. Coating and painting is two different things. Coating gets dipped, and then it comes out. It's thin. It's almost thinner than water. But paint, different story. Painting a gun, coating a gun, that doesn't affect the firing of the firearm, okay? Changing the mechanisms inside, the sear, the firing pin, the hammer, okay? The trigger. We don't want to do none of that. I don't want to swap out that barrel and go get a barrel that's from another manufacturer and it got that rifling on the outside where it looked like a drill bit. I don't want to do that. Okay, some people do that for looks. I'm not doing that. A lot of y'all are out here getting that done getting them Gucci guns, by all means, do that. Trey 57 is not a hater. Say what y'all want. I'm not hating on none of y'all guns. They actually do look awesome. Them kind of guns, I'm gonna put them on display in a room, but I'm not gonna take them out and trust that with my life. If I buy a firearm, I'm checking the background of that firearm. Has it ever jammed? Who carries it? Why they carry that? What police department? What organization? What government? What military branch? Who carries that firearm? What is their experience with that firearm? Give me that. After I test it myself. But, changing the trigger after I get that, altering your firearm, I'm not a fan of that. No. Listen to me, y'all. People say, oh, my gun brand new. It jammed on me one time. What you do? You change the trigger? What you do? Swap the barrel out? You got another barrel. They told you this is it's compatible. Compatible can roll with anything. But it's not for that gun. It is not. Does it work? Yes, it works. But for how long? You understand? Once again, I ain't bashing nobody that likes to do this. But Rep and CT, listen, bro. I am not changing the triggers on my firearms. I'm leaving my firearms factory. When I walked into that gun store and I saw that gun that I wanted, it was like, ooh, man, my soul fell in love with that gun. When I picked that thing up, I took it out, pop, 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 pop. I fell in love with that gun. That break in that trigger, that reset, I fell in love with that. I'm not altering that. I even see some of these triggers that these manufacturers is out here making, saying, yep, they go with Glock, they go with Smith & Wesson, they go with Taurus, they go with Mossberg. No, I'm not, none of that. Leave mine the way that it comes. Now, if the military is doing this, our military is switching up and taking this out, and I'm at war, and then look, hey, so be it. We're going to bust back with that. But I'm not altering nothing outside of the government and these departments. I'm going to roll with how that gun came out off the assembly line. You understand? I'm going to roll with however it came off the assembly line, because it will never do you wrong. And I can hear some people now, well, I had to change the trigger, because you changed the trigger and all in parts because you wanted it to fit your needs. And I'm cool with that. I have no problem with y'all altering y'all guns, but I will not alter my gun. If there is a failure with the manufacturer part that I do have, that is on my firearm, is going back to the manufacturer, and they're going to put another one on there. But I'm not going to get one from a third party, a second party. No, I want to deal with the manufacturer that made mine. All right? That's some game for y'all. You, by all means, go ahead and roll with that if y'all want to do that. Cut your slide up, chop your frame up. Anything that got something to do with them moving parts inside, I'm not messing with it. I learned from experience, I'm not doing it. I ain't going to get into why I know you shouldn't do that. I can't do that. Contract says I can't do it. So I'm not going to tell y'all why, but I will say this, stay away from that. Please stay away from altering your triggers, switching your triggers up. And I'm going to tell y'all something else. When you do stuff like that, if you're ever involved in an altercation or a self-defense situation and you got to handle business, y'all, they're going to break it down in the code. They are going to find out why, what, how many times was it hard to pull, heavy trigger pull, all of that. You change it to a light trigger pull. I don't want to give y'all the full. I just want y'all to be smart. You got a heavy trigger pull. You in a self-defense situation. You tell somebody, oh, I was scared and I pulled and it went off. If that ain't a heavy trigger pull, you got scared and you pulled, it went off. When you pull them heavy trigger pulls, you gotta pull them triggers. I ain't saying you lifting weights pulling it, but heavy trigger pull, you gotta really use that. Now one of those them what they call them, the hair triggers, tap, whoa, it's over. Now I can see you got scared and then boom and it went off. Oh, I didn't know how many times heavy trigger pull, you wanted to pull that trigger. Some people don't want heavy trigger pull. Some people want a light trigger pull. To each his own. But I'm begging y'all, stop altering these guns, and I'm not taking nothing from these makers out here making these parts, because people still gonna go get y'all parts anyway. Leave everything factory on my side. You understand? That's what I do. I leave everything factory. Have I played with some of these firearms with these altered parts? And did they run? Oh yeah, they ran. But listen to me. You ain't running something until you in battle. When you in battle, you're going to find out if that part stands up to its name. You understand? Oh, I ran 100 rounds. I said battle. Battle means the number of times I got to squeeze. The number of elements that I'm in. How many times you go in the water? How many times you come out the water? You went in the mud. You went in the sand. You went in the night. You went in the cold. You went in the dark. Well, what is all y'all? Yes, yes, yes. That all makes a difference. You in the sand, you in the water, you in the mud. You ain't got time to be cleaning that off. I got a team. He got my back. Look here. I want something that's gonna run, not because it looked good. So once again, to each his own. Love all of y'all out there repping the 2A community, and everybody out there practicing gun safety. And everybody out there that's doing what they want to do to their firearms, keep doing that. This video is not bashing y'all. I salute to people out there that's carrying pistols legally. And if y'all want to switch up y'all guns, by all means, go ahead and do it. My personal preference, I prefer to leave everything factory. I have to leave everything factory. I trust it. I know that it's going to bust. And if it don't bust, I'm going back to the manufacturer. Look, I ain't trying to be searching around for somebody to, oh, well, I did it. But look, love y'all. Stay blessed, repping CT. That's my thoughts on that. Big ups to you. Everybody subscribe to repping CT. Stay blessed.